So hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week is showing me out on the banks of the river. I'm in search of silvers on the stick float. As you can see on screen now, it's a grey, gloomy, overcast day on the bank. All week in work, I've been looking out the window, conditions have been perfect, and today I'm hoping to get one or two fish on the bank. The vegetation is all dying back and it has got that awesome winter feel about it. There's been a dip in conditions today, it's down to 7 degrees, and hopefully it's the start of the seasons starting to change. So before we get into the video, just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's been leaving the nice comments on the channel, is enjoying the videos and leaving them the support. It really is appreciated, so thank you all very much, and tight lines in your own fishing. Let's waste no time at all, let's have a look at the side tray, the swim, and how we're going to approach it. So river fishing is definitely not pristine banks and comfy fishing. You can see here, plenty of mud. We've got the box out, knocked some of the reeds down there. Got the side tray, got a sneaky little dead bait out down the side. So looking at the swim, you can see plenty of dark water, plenty of pace here. You can see a bit slower down here, so we're just going to start on that crease there. I'm going to put our maggots in here and just trot down the river and hopefully get our bites round about here. We're going to start nice and easy. Like I say, only go hard if we have to, but it looks beautiful to be out on the bank, and I've been dying for today all week. So looking at the side tray, we've got plenty of red maggot, got some sweet corn, you can see there, and we've got loads of that hinders hemp. We've got some more behind us. It's autumn now into winter, and that's when that bait really does come into its own. Nice simple side tray. So some of you have commented about the rod needing a bit of a clean, so in the week on my dinner hour I'll give it a clean. But we are using my 17-foot carbon active. I've teamed that up with a Cordum axis reel, and on there I've got 4-pound line. Down to the business end, we've got a 12 number 4 stick float, and I've gone with this today because it's got a big visual tip on it and it's going to be able to hold back in that flow and then go over the shallow water as the swim shallow. On some sessions you just know it's going to be hard. Drop me rig in the edge while just setting up, and it's stuck on a snag. Those who say I go straight in and get a bite straight away, it's not always the case. Sometimes it starts off like a disaster. So it's taken a few trots through and we've hit a snag halfway down, which isn't ideal, but eventually that float is buried with a little small chublet, and like I always say, to begin with, it's just about getting bites. So I'm sorry for the lack of footage, but not much has been happening, and the float is just buried right on me hemp. Feels like a decent fish. I'm on my 17-foot rod, that 4-pound uplink. Just going to try and concentrate on getting him in. There's plenty of foliage down the margin. Right, I noticed I've dropped a sneaky pike rod down the margin, just on a little bait. And in this flow, what power these bream have. I thought it was a chub to begin with. It's taken a while. It's a great battle. So there we go, you can see the red maggot in its mouth, and it has been a bit of a weird start. We had that chublet and then it's been quite quiet, a few snags, and then it's buried this beautiful fish. So on the channel I always say about starting easy and only going hard if you have to. I've been putting the bait in just down this line here, and I have been getting the odd bite round about here, but there's a snag and it's either a bite or a snag. So what I'm going to do, I'm begin to feed further out, so I'm going to go halfway to 3/4, and hopefully we can draw them fish over. I always say on the channel, start easy and only go hard if you have to. It's getting a bit monotonous now tying up links, so I'm just going to go into that slightly faster water and begin targeting just that line down there. Like I just said then, sometimes you've just got to go hard. You know, sometimes easy doesn't work. You see on the channel a lot of the times it does. Now we're going hard, like I've just said, going over that far side. It isn't an easy fish, but gone straight back in over that bait and the float's buried again. It's probably going to be another quality bream, I would imagine. But sometimes, like I say, easy doesn't always work. You can see there the lazy boils of a bream coming up in the swim. Let's say the pike rod in the side, because you guys kept telling me bring one with me, so hopefully there might be a pike about on a dead bait, but It is great fun catching these fish on the sticky. So look at that for the lovely bream. And we've had a few pound in that net now with just them few bream we've had. So it's mixed emotions at the moment. It's lovely fishing, but every time I put that GoPro on, I don't get a bite. I take it off, the float berries. So I do apologise on the video, but it does feel like chub fishing. You know, you're going down a few times, keeping the bait going in, and then that float's burying. But that is fishing this time of year. There's plenty of quality though in the swim. You see there, that tip just playing the fish nicely, and we dropped the pike rod in the edge down there, hoping that old Esox is about. So if ever the fish was talked up, it was this one. I was convinced it would be another bream, but deep down I was hoping it was going to be a chub. If we can get a couple of them today, I'll be a happy man. Admittedly, I do prefer getting chub over bream, but today it's been all about quality. We've gone over that harder line and we're getting bites. It's a beautiful chub, the reward. So it's been about another 10-15 minutes of trotting, and that float has just buried again right down the swim with a quality fish. So look at the lovely colours on that bream, golden in the head and immaculate, and plenty of power in that flow. Hooked it right down the swim, and yeah, a proper bend in that 17-foot rod. It's been difficult this morning, plenty of snags, moving the line about. It's not been easy, but when you're getting quality like that, you make do. Going to mix up some ground bait, some of the supercharged sweet, and I've got some of the Expander there, seafood. Gives you a nice dark mix. I'm just going to add a bit of water to this, and yeah, I'll put a couple of balls in. Just try and condense them bites into one area in the swim and really attack it. So I've just mixed up 3 balls there. I'm not going to be too aggressive because obviously the time of year, you never really know. So I'm just going to take it nice and easy to begin with. 3 decent balls. In there you've got some hemp and some corn. We'll get them into the swim, and then we'll go over the top of them balls. And as you've just seen there, going over the top of that ground bait, picked up a few of them bream, just going back over the top again, that float is bedded. And again, deep down, I'm hoping it's going to be a chub. I have a feeling it's going to be a bream with them head shakes like that. And although it's not the line we want to be going down, a lot more difficult to hold the float out there, especially when you've got to slow it down for these bream. But just going over that ground bait, how can you not be happy with a bream like that? So after a morning of plenty of quality where we were going difficult and going across, we had plenty of bites. The swim has just died as the afternoon's gone on, and it's like a light switch going off. My uncle who's downstream is struggling, and me the same, and it's mad how a swim can change. The swim has gone really quiet, and I've just changed that paternoster rig so it'd stay in position, and it just bobbed twice and slowly moved into the middle. We've got Mr. Pike on the other end, and maybe he's the reason why it might have gone a bit quiet. Don't look the biggest pike in the world, but more than welcome. Amazing how just a little change in the way you present a bait can make a difference. And there we go, what lovely colours on that pike. We had plenty of quality before, and the swim did go quiet. And amazing how a little change, just presenting that bait a little bit differently, can get results. We had the dead bait on the bottom most of the morning, presenting it mid-water, maybe fluttering in the flow a bit, has got the result. So the session does come to an end there now. Right at the very end, I did hook into a chub, and sadly Mr. Pike relieved me of my prize to end the session on. Sometimes that's the way fishing goes, but as you can see on screen now, we've had plenty of quality in that final net. This session today really has shown the ups and downs of a session, and sometimes filming on YouTube doesn't always go to plan. I really do hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. If you have, please like and subscribe down below. All that remains is for me to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight line.